You know, as a new prepper, probably the most important item you're going to carry with you and get the most use out of is a pocket knife. I'm going to show you one today that won't break the bank, but is really high quality. Let's check it out. All right, folks, welcome back. So today we're taking a look at a new knife from Vosteed. I have reviewed this knife in the past, but this is a little different, this one. This is the aluminum Raccoon crossbar lock knife. The scales on it are aluminum, slightly heavier than the previous Raccoon that I reviewed, but this thing is not much heavier and a really good value. If you've looked at some pocket knives, you know, especially when you're getting started, I know my first pocket carry knife was a half serrated blade I got from some gas station for like $1 out of a big pile of blades, you know. But I used it a ton, and it actually fell apart on me. It finally just broke apart. I was working somewhere where I was cutting open cardboard boxes all the time, and it was tough on it. And, you know, between the tape and the cardboard boxes, that's really rough on a blade. And it just wasn't up to the task. So I started venturing out and looking around, and this is way before YouTube was popular. This was around 2000. I started looking around and seeing what was out there as far as a good quality pocket knife. Then I had to learn how to sharpen them and all that, but that's a different video. But I found some better quality knives, but there wasn't the availability of affordable pocket knives like there is today. Gosh, I remember looking at some of them that were like $300 and $400. You guys ever seen my video from a couple years back at the SHOT Show of Medford knives? And they were like the $2,500 range, so there are some out there that are very, very high quality, but they'll break the bank and you'll be afraid to carry them. The whole point of having a quality pocket knife is to carry it with you all the time. There's so many uses. I mean, from cutting things you need to cut open, just from regular everyday use, when you get something in a blister pack and you want to cut it open. Very, very handy. So this particular knife, let's talk about this one, because I think this is a really good budget choice. This is a crossbar lock knife. It is a 3.25 Nitro V blade with an aluminum handle. Take a look at it here. Really smooth action, and you have your choice to open it with the thumb stud, or you have your choice to open it with the lock. So you just pull back on this lock and flick it open like that. The blade came crazy sharp out of the box. I mean, just like I can shave hair with it. This probably won't show up on camera, but yes, you can shave hair off your arm with it. So it came crazy sharp out of the box. The Nitro V steel is an excellent steel because it's very robust, holds a good edge, but it's easy to put an edge back on it. I've had that in the past where I've had some steels that were a little bit harder to sharpen. They held an edge forever, but they were harder to sharpen. Now, the biggest difference in this is the fact that it's got scales made of aluminum. They are super lightweight, and they're very nice looking. It's almost a purplish blue. I don't know if it comes through on camera. But what I like about it is it's a CNC machine pattern on here. So it not only adds a little bit of visual interest to it, it looks kind of cool, but it really gets a good grip on it. So for long-term use, something like this is really cool. Every edge is chamfered, so there's no hot spots anywhere. Very, very smooth in your hand. The pocket clip is rather flat, but that's what you want. This will be able to pop open for thicker jean material or whatever, and it is a deep carry, so it kind of keeps it hidden away so nobody's like, oh, he's got a knife, you know. I carry a knife almost everywhere I go, and I've walked through places where they say no weapons, like casinos and stuff, and they still consider this a weapon. I really don't. I consider this a tool, because I use it more for a tool than I'd ever use that as a weapon. But I like the deep carry pocket clips. They kind of like slip in the pocket and you don't have to worry about them. So I really like the scales on it. The aluminum adds a little bit of looks to it, as well as makes it handy and comfortable to carry. The drop point blade here, Nitro V steel. Like I said, excellent corrosion resistance and toughness. You got a good edge retention with wear resistance on it. You can take a look at it there. Okay. Got a pointy tip on the end and a drop point with a nice belly on it for cutting. You want that part there. That's really good for getting in and cutting things nice and deeply. So it does have a nice crossbar lock, and one of the things I like about crossbar lock knives is you're never going to break that. I mean, you might break it, but you're never going to pop it open and cut your hand with it. That is in there nice and sturdy. You see how nice and loose it is now. It just pops back in there. See? No problem at all. Excellent centering on it. Give you a little look on the inside of the mechanics in there. Definitely a nice knife. And I love the fact that you can flip that open. I'd sit here and play with this thing all day. It's kind of like a switchblade where you're switching it in and out all day. Drive people nuts with it. Excellent construction on it. Really well made. It's designed to be ambidextrous, so it's easy to use. So if you're a lefty, you can do that too. I'm not left-handed, but hey, I can still open it. Not too good on closing it, though. That's what I get for trying to use my left hand. But it's stiff enough there where you're not going to accidentally open this in your pocket. If you've ever had a knife open in your pocket and you bent down and, what was that? And you're bleeding. So, another thing on the handle. This is great for regular grip or a little bit of choke up, too. You have a little bit of room there to choke up on, and it's not too close to the edge. So, if you're doing a little bit of fine detail work, you can do it. It doesn't have a 90-degree spine, so you're not going to be striking ferro rods with it. But, you know, how many times do you do that with your pocket knife? You usually carry a striker if you're going to be doing that. So definitely a nice little knife. It's a nice low profile knife, clean looking, a little less drag. Tension is well tuned for carry, and you can reverse the pocket clip as well, as you can see here. One of the things I like is they actually use a little bit of extra metal and cover this area up. So many knives I see with reversible pocket clips just have 2 holes, and then the screws go through it. And it's like, come on, you couldn't have put a piece there to space it out and make it look flat and even instead of just 2 holes. You do have a lanyard hole right there, so you can put a lanyard in it. All in all, really nice looking knife. We're going to try cutting some stuff with it and see how well it holds up. All right, so the first thing I want to do is cut some paracord with it and just see how that works. And I'm sure it will sail right through it. No problem at all. Let's cut 2 of them together. Let's see, get over there. There we go. Right through it, no issues at all. And this is, that's going to be the common task that you might use your pocket knife for. Cutting a box open, cutting some paracord. Maybe you're cutting cardboard, and Lord knows that can be really hard on a knife, okay? And it cuts through that, no problem. It's still incredibly sharp. I can feel the edge right there. Now, if you want to maybe take some wood, this is a piece of fat wood, so it's not going to do curls very well, but you can cut yourself up. Of course, I say that and then it starts making decent curls. You cut yourself up some tinder very easily. And like I said, you can work your way up on this knife. Got a little bit of room up there to work on it. There you go. So you see right there, kind of a messy feather stick, but nonetheless, you do have some tinder cut up there. So it serves a ton of purposes, and having an everyday carry type pocket knife is definitely something that should be on your list as a new prepper. So let me clean up my mess here, and I'll give you some final specs on it and the price. All right, really quickly, I will have a link down below. This is on Amazon. They have a bunch of different colors and styles, but they're all aluminum. Some of them are low stock. If the one I linked to is low stock, just look for other colors. They're all right there under the price. I always hate when I do that and I put it up and somebody buys 2 of them and there's only 2 left and no one told me, and then it's out of stock. So there are other choices on colors there. If you're not into this kind of blue purple kind of color, there are other choices there. They run about $72. Not bad for a quality pocket knife. Being like when we started the video, I told you about some of them I've seen in the thousands of dollars. So $72, not bad. The overall length, is 7.60 inches. Your blade width is 1.07 inches. Blade thickness is 0.118 inches. The blade length itself is 3.25. The material is Nitro V steel, flat grind, drop point blade. The blade finish is stainless steel. Nothing fancy about that. Your handle length is 4.36 inches and your handle width is 1.1 inch. And the thickness on the handle is 0.49 inches. Again, it's aluminum. That's the blue purple color on it. They have black, a bunch of other ones. The weight on it, 3.66 ounces. So it's super lightweight, easy enough for you to carry every day. Not going to get in the way of anything. Even if I was going out kind of dressed up, I wouldn't feel bad with having this in my pocket because it's not a big honking pocket knife. It's just a little, kind of like a gentleman's folder, but not really. It's not that small. But it's definitely a good little deal here. You have an opener of a thumb stub, or you can use the crossbar lock. The pivot assembly inside is a caged ceramic ball bearing. Again, pocket clip is reversible, and it is a tip-up carry. So all in all, I think Vosteed has been putting out some awesome knives lately. And this Vosteed Raccoon aluminum body there, definitely one of those knives. $72, can't beat that. I mean, heck, you carry around. You'll notice the difference in quality knives when you take your cheap dollar store knife and you carry it for a few days and then you carry something like this. It's like, oh, wow, okay. At first, you'll think, hey, this feels just the same. When you use it, after you've used it for a while, after you've carried it for a while, and it's not falling apart and the screws are coming out, you'll understand why. It's definitely worth spending a little bit more, especially for something that could potentially save your life. You know, if you have to cut your way out of something, or if you're stuck somewhere, you have to pry something open. Carrying a pocket knife as a new prepper, it's definitely something kind of important. So you definitely want to spend a little bit of money on it, but you don't have to go spending hundreds of dollars to the point of where you're constantly groping at your pocket to make sure it's still there. When I saw some of those other knives at the SHOT Show that year, I was just like, you got to be kidding me. Even a $700 knife, I'd be afraid to carry, you know? And it's not because, I don't have the money to replace it. It's because I don't want to lose it to begin with. So that is the Raccoon, the aluminum Raccoon from Vosteed, crossbar lock knife. Very, very nice. Do check it out. I'll have a link down below for you on Amazon. It will also be in my Amazon store. And folks, if you want to help out the channel, just use that link to shop on Amazon. You don't have to buy anything from my store. Just use the link. Really helps us out, bring you lots of cool gear. Below that is our freeze-dried wholesalers link. Folks, if you have not gotten stocked up on food by now, with all that's going on in the world, and once they start talking about Russia putting nukes in space, that's when you really want to pay attention. So definitely check out Freeze-Dried Wholesalers. My link will save you 15%. So no matter what you're buying there, you'll save 15% using my link down below. After that, we have our My Patriot Supply link. One of the good things that they're doing is rotating what's on my site. So every day, if you check it out, there's a ton more stuff on there. Like the other day, they had the heater on there, the Vesta heater. The day before that, it was the water filter, the Alexa Pure water filter. I know that they're having the big sale this month on the year's supply of food with $500 off. So that's going to be, it was $700 off. $700 off on the year's worth supply of food. So definitely a good deal. When you think about what you pay in groceries for a year, okay? And I mean, again, we're talking survival food, so it's not going to be the variety that you get. So definitely check them out there at preparewithiridium.com. That's preparewithiridium.com. And of course, our Thrive Life freeze-dried food store. Don't forget to check that out as well. They have awesome, clean, good food there. I thank you guys for watching. Stay safe and stay prepared.